so in this one we are going to be reacting to Goresh ranking the top 10 best characters in the game May 2026 edition, part 2. Part 2, huh? Oh, I guess he did one within, the Legend unit and Bardock and all of them, but within part 1 of the 8th year anniversary here, I assume obviously everyone's going to be doing a tier list within part 1, part 2, part 3, bare minimum. Waiting till TGB actually was pretty decisive, considering we didn't know how he would be in game, but now that we know TGB is such a demonic force and doing such prowess and potency, it makes sense. But let's get into this here. I've seen some of this list, and just off the rip, I think the only unit you can say is number 1 is TGB. Get into that further, obviously, when we get further in the list and talk about those higher tiers, but just get into it here and let's hear.
Hey guys, so today we're going to jump into a top 10 best characters in the game video here. This is obviously going to be the May 2026 edition. In fact, I believe this is the second video I'm releasing this month. Obviously, anniversary has begun and we need to do one of these videos. There's just been way too much of a shift in the meta as per usual with anniversary. And specifically with this 8th anniversary, it does appear as though we are going to be seeing potentially meta shifts every week, right? This upcoming weekly reset, we're going to have the red LF Broly unique equipment.
I want to say this before it even happens for this guy. I expected TGB to be like 4 or 5, right? Peaking 4 or 5 above Bardock. Bardock is very low tier. Hey, sometimes not even on top 10. It's crazy, but sometimes not on top 10s. With red Broly, I'm going to give him, just say it now, he might be better at best than Legend Super Vegito, which is like, for most people, like 5 or 6 right now. I'm going to give Broly that credit, because I think that's like glazing. If he gets better than that, which would imply for at least a good majority of, a meta stake here, what if you don't need to run double reds? Maybe you don't run a lower star Gogeta, you run a higher star Broly. Imagine that's the case. That would actually hurt the anniversary, so I hope it doesn't happen, but I do hope Red Broly is good enough to be at least top 5, like Goku Black is at least top 2.
Then the week after that, we're going to have an...
Well, let me jump into the actual top 10 here, Mr. Goresh.
And at number 10, we have LF Super Janemba. This guy...
So I just want you to note that Legend Bardock does not make the list. I also want to note on top of this, and maybe he'll touch on this later on or now, I don't know when he touches on this. This is the only thing I remember from this list besides number 1. And it's not really making much sense here for this. I mean, I had Janemba top 10 before, with this new yellow unit, so it's like there's another unit to add to the list. You drop someone that's on the lower end, whatever. Stardust Fall, though, doesn't do team-wide damage for timer. It's been tested. If you were to do a Stardust Fall to 2 million damage on the current opponent, and, you do that 2 million to everyone else on that, team there, yes, that applies to the actual match while in match play. But in the timer itself, that 6 million totality actually isn't applied. So a lot of people were saying and insinuating the point, and I think Gresh says it here, someone told me, that you actually lose matches more frequently, because again, this was the implication people thought, because, Legend Bardock took the Stardust Breaker, and now, the Stardust Fall, and now, boom, you just die, you just automatically lose, you took 8 million damage on everybody, and oh my god, wow, you just took 24 million, now you can't win, wow. It's actually not the case. I'm not saying it's going to glaze Bardock to the moon, but in that circumstance, that is the probably primal circumstance where people are really disliking Bardock right now. And because that's not the case, now that's been learned that's not the case, I think it's much more easy to put Bardock here over, for fucking God's sake, 13 Merchant Janemba. I mean, the bottom tiers don't matter, but if I'm debated to myself, 13 glazing Janemba, or just Bardock on his own merit, come on. Like, I don't care too much on the bottom here, but come on. Come on.
Is in the A tier boost this season, which definitely helps him quite a bit. This guy works well with the new full power Broly, who also works well with Gogeta, because you can just run that green, yellow, red color wheel with Broly being the center. And again, this Janemba's pretty good. He's able to get type neutral many times with his unique gauge filling up, which is pretty effective against Gogeta. By the way, it's uncancelable type neutral, so you can use like an ultimate or something and still maintain type neutrality against Gogeta, which is very,
he's immune to some stuff. That's nice.
I'll give
him some credit.
And this is going to come up multiple times throughout this video. We are in what I would consider to be a timer count meta, and this character has a very very powerful effect attached to his
Oh,
ultimate,
the
which he
double
can
rushing?
use twice, which is gains 2 Dragon Balls. So you theoretically, with this character, can actually gain 4 Dragon Balls by using his ultimate twice, which is a very strong ability in a meta that is very prone to going to timer every single match. So I think this guy is actually really, really good right now. Again, I don't think it's a situation where he falls off the A tier boost and he's still going to be good enough to be considered for this list, because I think once we head into the next season, there's just going to be too many characters that are better than this guy off feature boost to really think about him being in the top 10, or if not feature boost, the A tier boost. So I think just the A tier boost is helping him to that degree that I think it's worth mentioning this guy at number 10. As per usual for these lists, I think there's a host of different characters you could kind of throw in here, like from 8 through 10, that would be like fine to add on the list. But I think I've used and fought enough LF Super Janembas this season so far to where I feel comfortable having him.
Well, people are fighting this guy. Yo, we're fighting Janemba and GPQ. Yo, I gotta get over there, bro. I want some free wins. Shit. I don't fight Bardock either. Don't get me wrong, but like, I want to fight Janemba, bro. Shit. Yo, thought JPQ is superior. I mean.
So, nothing really much else to talk about here. He's just a good
character
as well with some of the new units.
Hopefully me next.
And could actually do decently against them as well. So Janemba's going to be here at number 10. Let's move on to number 9. All right,
so the rationale for Janemba is that he can rush. Not even on the immunities. I didn't hear him say anything about the immunities, which is, interesting. Because I think he is immune to like card destruction or some shit. I don't know. It's a couple accounts on entry, some bullshit. It's something. It's something that helps him. I'm giving grace to the guy that I don't even think is fucking top 10 right now. He has some bullshit like that. But the main asset being double rushing in a movies trio? I mean, I don't know. Who do you prefer to run your team? I know you don't prefer either. But if you had to pick one, Janemba or Bardock? Now that knowing that Stardust Fall does not make you guarantee lose, essentially, because of Bardock being there, not having neutral of being yellow at points, and, defense neutral's gone, you Stardust Fall. Wow, big problem. Who do you prefer to run? I think I prefer Bardock. I know I prefer Bardock. Maybe you prefer Janemba. Maybe you prefer Janemba because of this list. Who knows the answer? Let me know. Number 9, Sword Hope Trunks. I don't have really a dilemma with this. Again, I had it where Buuhan and Sword Hope were kind of swappable. Of Buuhan's actually better because yellow unit got buffed, red unit gets better, blue card guy. You do some blue cards within like Legend Rose, and then you kind of get those cancel buffs out. Then Buuhan does blue cards. He has crazy blue cards to guys because he's just really good at doing damage on blue cards. Buuhan within his gauge. While frail, I would still say Buuhan's probably just better on a team setting than Trunks, even though the no endurance could definitely be a flaw for the man. But I want to hear Trunks talk because I think Trunks could definitely be a lot higher on list if they just gave a fuck about the guy.
9, we have Ultra.
Despite Yellow Goku Black, this does not help Trunks.
Significant drop off for this character when compared with the prior top 10 list that I dropped. I had this guy at number 2. Number 2 on the last list. So this guy dropped from number 2 to number 9.
Was that Legend Rose meta?
So mostly what I'm going to be talking about here is mostly I would consider negative things, just because, again, fallen pretty low compared to the last list. But the fact that he's number 9 means I still think he can compete. He's still a decent character. He's still got tools available to him that are very valuable.
Actually, I'm trying to think about it. Would I put Purple Cell over Janemba? Probably not. That's probably like one of those arguables, huh? The Purple Zenkai Cell. You are running into Broly? A lot of blue cards. I feel like there's something there. Probably not much. I'm probably like glazing, but I'm more confident probably in Purple Cell than Janemba. I never seen Janemba do anything, bro. Like, I ran him glazed one time, and that shit, I'm stuck on that.
Is pretty damn good right now, I would say. Now, the reason why I don't really think I would have this Trunks higher than this is we are kind of continuously moving forward, not backwards, forward with damage guard power creep. And not only damage guard power creep, but also different kinds of effects are being thrown around right here. We have special move, ultimate damage power down debuffs everywhere. We have transformation characters that have insane stats.
Agreed.
It is very hard, very, very hard now for this character's Sword of Hope to just cold-blooded one-shot anyone. Like, not anyone as in you can't one-shot anyone with it, but it's very hard for you to be able to one-shot whoever you want with it. just before Anniversary, I would argue, the team people would run is Bardock, Sword of Hope Trunks, and LR Rose Goku Black. And you would double...
People, am I on fucking crack? Was that a... What? Am I on fucking tar? Was that the best team? Trunks? I have to be on fucking Mars. Am I just forgetting? Who the hell was that? Bardock? Rose? Was it Trunks? Was he? I might be on fucking Mars. I don't remember shit about Trunks there. Maybe it... I am totally ignorant to that right now. It feels like it's been a millennium since that fucking meta. Maybe it was. I got no fucking clue.
Zenkai buffed this Trunks. At least that's how I used him. And it was just... You essentially got a guaranteed kill on whoever got hit by the Sword of Hope. But we're seeing characters with 300% damage guard now. We're seeing, again, Broly with just massive defenses on top of the damage guard, on top of HP benches because of Yellow Goku Black, who, don't worry, we'll talk about him. We're seeing insane healing with 13, so it's hard to kind of like get...
I'm not here to glaze Trunks. I'll just, again, saying what I said earlier. It's just that he's a potential, man. There's always potential where he can do great jobs. There's one match he'll look like a demon because he got the Sword of Hope on the perfect timing. That guy was kind of low. He's at 40% health. Boom, Sword of Hope kill. Amazing. Good job. He killed Broly in Super Saiyan armor state. Wow. Amazing job. And now you pop the green card. You got them, doing a tackle because they thought you had no cards left. Now you do a couple strike cards. You spam them out. Boom. You killed the yellow Goku Black now. And then boom. You're in a 3v1 because Trunks just did that. There's always potential for the guy. So I always feel like he's valid to be on a list like this until a purple, which a purple just left the top tier meta. Vegito, because yellow Goku Black, at least he's not as, he's not as frugal in the top tier meta as he once was last week. So unless that becomes the case, I always say Trunks has a potential to be in these lists and just will make a possible impact in match. It's just never frequency. And that's all I care about here. All these numericals and numbers he's talking about. Yeah, that's true. But again, all it matters down to, and I've said this over a billion times since Trunks' release, he's just, sometimes he will pop off and sometimes he'll just do fucking nothing. There's no consistency within this unit that is just a 24/7. Broly's always going to make you stop your combo and always going to make you kind of think to play a little bit, when you're fighting Broly or Gogeta Blue. You have to be wary of him when he starts building up. So, you kind of have to go into that and, think about, oh, I need kind of a tank on my team, which every team has a tank right now. With Trunks, it's like, sometimes he hits like a fucking pebble, and sometimes he's hitting like a fucking tsunami, and it's just a Trunks thing. Interesting spot for him. Probably same thing I had here. Again, I think Trunks was 9 for me, Buuhan was 8, so same thing. I assume Buuhan's next, but, let's see right now.
All right, number 8
same thing.
Is going to be
I just want to listen. Again, some of these, I want to hear his validation, variation of why he validates them to these spots over what I perceive it is, and maybe what you perceive it is.
Good. I would say at this point that red is still a pretty premium color. We do have a very, very dangerous blue character running around. It's obviously Legend Rose.
And Buuhan is a victim to that.
Other than that, there's not a ton of scary blue characters. There's one other blue character who we'll talk about next.
13.
I would say.
I'm going back to this Janemba thing one last time. I 100% think you can argue Revival Blue Gohan is top 10. 10! 100%. 100%.
Legend.
If you don't want Bardock, I think he can.
Scary blue character. You don't really see Gohan too much at all.
He's mentioned.
That's really it. There's no other insane Piccolo's still without a good team.
I just forgot Piccolo exists. Holy shit. That's tough.
So it's just kind of Rose.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? If you play Buuhan the way it's supposed to be played too, it's not like Rose can really kill you unless you get caught with a legend action or something. That's bad, but
even then,
Buuhan is still an effective character. He can deal with a lot of these characters with his gauge. His blue cards still hit really hard. The one thing to keep in mind though with this guy is Rose, yellow Rose, not the blue one, the yellow one. Debuffing blue cards from standby does hurt this character quite a bit because he can debuff this character's type neutral on the blue, and then you could just go into your blue Goku Black and eat it. And that's very difficult.
So you spam away everybody else, and then you let his go after 3.
Countering character when that's a thing, but Buuhan, I think, is a still effective unit. His green card is very powerful still.
Loki is green might be the best part of his kit right now, because you could chain that off of like just doing a tackle to bait them. You hit them far away by accident because you thought you were just gonna get their vanish out. They fell for it. Green card chain, endurance null 10 counts. Endurance null right now. Any unit, if Red Broly gets endurance null on plat on entry, 5 counts every entry, can't be canceled on equipment. Top 5. Any unit that gets endurance null in this current meta will be a top tier demon god. The entire game, already he's named units that have endurance. The entire game is filled with endurance. That's literally all it is. Buuhan's the only non-endurance unit that's probably going to make this list here. And if it's someone else, it's going to be a revival of 13. And he even said he'll mention him later. That endurance null is his best asset by far. And any unit that gains endurance null in an effective manner of just multiple counts without just a subjective card of like a blue or ult, they're the one. Like, they're the one that could do something. It's just, how new are they? And Buuhan ain't fucking new. He's 3 months old.
Does really good damage. He's an AoE ultimate. The only thing, obviously, though, is we are at the point now where I'm looking at my list. I don't think there's a single... Yeah, there is no single character on this list that doesn't have a second life mechanic besides Buuhan. Buuhan is the only one on this list that doesn't have a second life mechanic. So at this point, that's got to be a drawback to this unit. And I don't think he needed a second life when he came out, and I honestly still don't think he should have had one.
I agree.
But again, I mean,
Broly is Buuhan.
Giving every
it's the same premise,
in the
and he has second life with Broly's dominance
pretty much since the beginning of the year. Outside of this guy,
I do.
Which I'm glad.
Let's move into number 7 though, since I agree with these two placements.
That is definitely going to be something that hurts him with 7 next. All right, so coming
13. I actually moved 13 up to number 6, and this doesn't matter too much, obviously, but I moved Nappa down below 13 or something like that, because I would say Nappa, I mean, again, yellow Goku Black, like, there's only so much 13 Nappa can do against yellow Goku Black, and I think everything in this game is centered around yellow Goku Black right now. So being a unit that's really, really bad against him within being a purple, and just because you are purple, that is a big fucking flaw right now. It's not really, that's called time. Maybe later it'll be better, but now it's bad, and it was good before. I think that damn near negates even any validation to use Nappa for the most part. If you want damage dealer, use Vegito. If you want a tank, well, Nappa's not going to tank. Just use fucking Mr. Broly, Mr. Goku Black, whatever the fuck you want. I think 13's Glazy can give on movies. Definitely does validate him to be a little bit higher than Nappa. Again, because I'm assuming Nappa is next here, right? Just because every tier list is basically damn near the same within these higher tiers. It's just the order of them is, 1, 2, 3, maybe off. But here, I think pure movies is better than anything Nappa can fit on. That's kind of like the whole baseline of that argument there. And if you want to run PO, 13, Broly, Yellow Goku Black, you could do that. Pure movies, obviously, again, I would give those more validation than I'd give anything Nappa can go on.
It's going to be Android.
Nappa can work with Gogeta Blue.
Really tough time
it's not ideal.
Choosing who I wanted to pick for this slot with the next character. It's kind of a pretty close.
I agree, it is close. Because again, it's Nappa next.
This guy and the character at number 6.
I do not remember the list. I'm just predicting.
But I'm going to put 13 here at number 7. I think he's a pretty solid inclusion just on like every team ever.
Yep.
This has been the case since this guy came out. I mean, you can go back to
crazy. He eats
end
a lot
of
of
September when this guy came out, and just every single video I'm recording that even is not supposed to be about specifically 13, I'm running 13. I mean, he's everywhere. He's the best third character you could run is Android 13.
Yes. Until that tier boost gone.
An A tier boost definitely helps him out a lot. But obviously his synergy with the other movies characters, Broly and Gogeta, definitely helps. And it's not only just the movie characters, it's also yellow Goku Black. I mean, a blue character with a yellow character. They're both powerful opponent units. This guy is constantly healing. Yellow Goku Black is constantly healing, especially when you have...
And the damage buffs
this
yellow
is
Goku Black.
A big point that I'm going to be bringing up a few times in this video, but the ease of access that yellow Goku Black has to an HP and Zenkai bench with the yellow Broly does make this character's healing way more potent, because you're just healing more HP every single time you switch out with this character on a team that has an HP bench.
Not wrong.
It's very, very crazy. So the synergy this character has with like the best units in the game right now is too high for me to really put this guy any lower on the list.
I agree.
And I think realistically, you probably could argue this character all the way up through top 5 if you really wanted to. But I feel comfortable with him here.
I get the notion of that, saying like 13's better than Vegito just because how well he fits within the other two. But again, obviously it comes down to individualistic and individualism at that point of like 13's so much fucking worse individually than Vegito. And he's worse than that Vegito as well. It's not like I'm fucking trying to misguide you here on that. But it's also that, I mean, but what he does for the team and what those others do because of 13, it's like, like there's some essence to that argument. This is just an A tier boosted guy, bro. He didn't even do nothing crazy. This is, whatever, 40-60% they added up to for A tier boost, and I'm glad they bought the A tier boost because it was not as impactful. Now it's a little bit more impactful, and I can see a reason. Look at this guy, he's making it. Janemba's dumbass is making it. Like, Janemba was worse than FSG always, and now, look at it. Janemba's actually better than FSG, at least for most people's consideration. So please keep these tier boosts up, and maybe even a little bit higher tier boosts, or remove Yellow Goku Black from tier boost because that motherfucker don't need that shit because he's in
7.
future.
It's becoming a lot.
And he's
more
in LF, so he gets everything.
to, even with him in the A tier boost, to be able to come in and effectively just be a way to stop. Like, yeah, he has the one-time combo stopping ability, but after that, I mean, this guy actually could be a lose condition, right? Broly comes in and rushes this character, and he takes 14 million damage from the rush. You get Stardust Falled against Red Gogeta, and your whole team gets set to 1 HP, and you bake.
I already mentioned this. Re-mention it again. Stardust Fall does not do damage to your bench on the timer itself. Well, does the damage in the match itself, and he takes 3 million. Then everyone else takes 3 million. When it does the damage calc, it does not calculate Stardust Fall as doing 9 million. It calculates as doing the 3 million to 13. While in fight, it'll do the 9 mil to everybody totality-wise. But out of fight, timer happens, boom, timer meta, as he said. We're only doing 3 mil on that. So yes, I get it. It can make you lose. The Broly argument's more better than this because it's just obviously more accurate. But Stardust Fall does not AoE you on your timer.
Basically just lose the damage because
same Bardock argument here.
Worth of damage, right?
Which
so
again,
this
people thought it did.
Squishiness at this point, in a timer count meta, again, is, I would say more of a detriment than anything else. But I think he brings enough value to the table.
If he knew that, I think he was up 13 over Nappa.
Supplement to the
I think that's a very big down. That's why he has
position at number 7 on the list. And again, you can put him higher if you want. So Android 13 is going to come in here. Let's move on to the next slot, number 6. All right,
great job, Brain.
Number 6 is going
All right, I can understand this. I might even skip forward a little bit because I know number 6 is going to be this guy. Number 5 is going to be Vegito. Okay, number 4, probably Legend Rose, and then number 3, probably Broly, and then 1, 2, whatever the fuck, right? I know number 1, so I assume Goku Black is 2, and then boom, there's the fucking list. I'll hear a little bit of this, but again, I would swap these two. Number Android 13 and Nappa here, 6, 7. Swap them out between each other there. I definitely don't think there's an argument to say Nappa is better than Vegito. I'll give you that, guaranteed. And the probably best argument to keep Nappa here is more so because he could partner alongside Gogeta Blue and be kind of a unit protected by him because, like, here's red. Okay, Yellow Goku Black comes in. Well, I'm red, Mr. Gogeta Blue. Nappa, you're safe. And it's like, not really, but, they're also good, purple units, so they're good against Broly. It's the premise more than the actual execution on this character that's, kind of, I think, bumping them here.
Left Nappa Vegeta. I had a very hard time deciding whether or not I wanted to put this guy here or I wanted to put 13 here. I think it could go either way. I probably honestly should have probably made this a joint slot here, but people really don't like joint slots for some reason, so I'm gonna separate them.
I like to expand on that. I think joint slots, at least top tiers, maybe like outside top 5, sure, whatever, do your thing. But in top tiers, I feel like it's just kind of silly. Like, I see tier lists and it's like a 1 through 5, and it's like they're all. So you're gonna tell me Yellow Goku Black can argue number 1 the same way Vegito can, because they're all 1 through 5 in the same bracket. That's kind of where joint things kind of get out of hand. And if entire tiers is like 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, there's no way you got, Mr. Android 13 arguing with LF Janemba or some shit. That's kind of where it gets crazy. On something like this, it's like, okay, 6, 7, tied here, interchangeable. I don't give 2 shits about that. Even if you tie top tiers and it's like genuinely valid, it's not crazy. But those whole shared, every time I see a tier list, it's like 1 through 4, 5 through 7, 8 through 10, or more so 4 through 6, then like 7 through 10. I'm mentally checked because I'm just like, this means nothing. It literally means nothing. There's no explanation to it. There's nothing even depth on it. There's no definition to it. It's so silly. I try to avoid those as much as possible because I know I hate seeing them, and I'm sure people do too as well, because they really don't have any substance behind them. But something like this, Nappa, Vegeta, and 13, they probably have the best argument to be a tied tier than anyone else on this tier list.
I think 13, you're definitely going to be seeing 13 way more than this character this season.
Probably see them even.
Because, again, he
I'm
works
like top
way
50
better
too,
with
so it's
most
whatever.
of the top units in the game. But Nappa, this character is still extremely good. This guy is... I don't think... Okay, so since the yellow Goku Black equipment, I don't think you must run a purple versus Broly.
No.
But this guy is obviously very powerful against Broly. The people are just always terrified of proccing Broly's transformation. If you have a purple character, it's not that bad. Even with the full power transformation, who gets type neutral when you swap, you can go into Nappa and he's eating it fine. He's fine. He is fine. But Nappa is still a character that's going to be doing a lot of damage. Even against yellow Goku Black, he's coming in with type neutral defensively from his unique equip. He's not going to be taking just...
The issue I see with Nappa in that scenario is the same thing you see with Legend Bardock. It's only 5 counts. Legend Bardock has it while in indestructible state, forever, defense neutral, which is great, but you have none, and then your 5 counts are up, and then guess what? You were stalling for a decent amount of time, you were kind of just dangling around with full power Broly, you were fucking around, you were trying to figure out how to hit him, and then he countered you, they went to yellow Goku Black, they PV'd your Nappa, Vegeta, and then boom, you get 100-0 because your defense neutral right now in 5 counts, and it's like, oh, why the fuck's this unit on my team? That is a lot more likely now to stall such timers within how Broly is effective and how he works, especially when you're a purple, because Broly is meant to, be getting hit by that. So if you're getting like a PV'd against, and then they go to fucking Rose, they catch you on some bullshit, one catch bullshit, boom, Nappa Vegeta's popped, boom, again, they're probably not 100-0'd by yellow Goku Black, I fucking hope not within Vegeta state, but they're probably like 80% taken. It's like, they're gonna cost me the fucking match. That's kind of where I see their biggest hiccup right now.
Amounts of damage to where you're basically guaranteed to lose on damage versus yellow Goku Black. Even the revived version of this character, Vegeta, he can actually damage yellow Goku Black because he gets type neutral on his green card. This character's still doing really good damage.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So this character, again, this is also something we're going to be talking about with yellow Goku Black, but the equip just giving them all these stats. The damage and the ability to tank on this character, it's still good. It's not as good as it was before Anniversary, but it still holds up.
I wouldn't argue they can tank.
I think Nappa,
I'd say they are fine right now. Kind of like an Orange Piccolo thing. There's just
opponent is extremely
better for them, because Orange
right
Piccolo's equip is worse.
As long as that's the case, this character is always going to have a home there because they are just a very solid character all around. Second life mechanic, offense, defense. The only thing they're really not doing is supporting. That's pretty much it. But as an individual character,
I see to mention UGB with them.
They're doing a lot.
I've seen that
their
much more than not.
Pretty high still. So I feel good with them being at number 6. Let's move on to the top 5. All right, to start out the top 5.
So I'm going to just keep this here. I agree. That's where I have Vegito. He stays there for me. I'm going to get to the top 4. This video's already going long. And this is going to get a lot longer because we're getting to the top 4. So let's get to number 4. 100% agree with Vegito. I don't want to say there's a debate, but you probably can make some bullshit up being like, well, Nappa Vegeta safety, the neutral on greens within Vegeta. Feels like a stretch. You want to stretch the debate, okay. I would just say this is most confident number 5. This is the number 5 you will see on damn near every fucking list ever. It's just the most confident tier placement for a unit that exists on these tier lists of part 1 going into Red Broly's unique equip that's coming up within a few days. So let's get to number 4, which I assume is Legend Goku Black.
All right, so
Brainiac. I agree, but I want to hear about this because for the top tiers.
Black. Now again, I think a tier list for this meta is probably just a better indication of how the game is doing right now as opposed to a strict top 10 ordered list. If I were to do a tier list, I might just have the top 4 all in the same tier. I don't really think there's a huge difference between these 4 characters. I think
the only unit that... See, in my eyes, my perception is that you can't argue Goku Black is not one, right? I know he doesn't have him number one, but you can't argue Goku Black is not one because everything's controlled around him. You're playing for the character. You have to play to counter the character. If you have a character that's controlling so much of the essence to where you have to build a team for him, team around him, and stop running units because of him, that's so much control that he's the best, right? I feel like that's not as necessity for Gogeta. I'm not sitting here thinking, I gotta run a blue, bro. If I don't run a blue, I can't deal with Gogeta. I think you're doing that more so for Broly. It's like you're thinking, okay, well, me running a blue, if it isn't Legend Rose, I'm probably just not going to try them. So it's kind of more forefront to Broly on that. I don't think, though, this unit here can argue number one. There's nothing in my mind that's like, sure, you want to say Gogeta because you got this team and you got some good scenarios and you got some good RNGs and, things went your way and it's consistent enough for you, you could do it. Broly, I think it's much easier to argue, and Goku Black, I think, is just a lot of people's number one. This guy, though, I don't see it. Even though he is very good against Broly in some essence within the Blues and Ults, and he'll mention that, I just don't see that. Because he's saying you could have all of them, in that same bracket. I don't see how that works. This guy is definitely not the league of every single anti-buffed unit that is in the top 3. Whether it be new unit or buffed within Yellow Goku Black, I don't think this guy hits their mold. He's not far, but I don't think, it's top 3, then it's 4, then it's continuing. I don't think it's this guy in that same bracket.
The order I have them in is the order I would put them in because that's why they're in the order they're in, but if we're doing a tier list, I think we just put these top 4 in their own tier, I think is how we do it. This guy is still crazy.
I agree.
This guy is still insane to me. He doesn't care about any
top 4 is all that matters.
He removes all debuffs. He's got double card draw speed. He's getting key constantly because he's constantly drawing blues and ultimates. He's getting rid of all these buff removal charges because of his constant uses of blues.
He's very important right now.
He is going type neutral on the ultimate, which actually does a lot of damage to Broly. He's got pretty insane disrupt. He's got type neutral defensively. He's got Dragon Ball destruction to help you out in the timer count meta. What else do you want?
He's also creating timer counts by that Dragon Ball destruction.
Really, the only thing to be super careful of here is specifically against blue cards. This guy does not actually remove buffs. However,
Goku Black does.
His buddy, Yellow Goku Black, now does exactly that. With
the best part about this unit is the optimal way to use him. If you actually want to, you're fighting Goku Black, you're fighting Broly, you're fighting Rose, just spam blues. Make him spam your blues. Waste the fucking cancel buffs. Just waste everything. Because he's the one that's going to spawn you those blues early game, and then boom, you keep doing it. Obviously, Yellow Goku Black spawns blues with engaged fulfillment every entry. Sure, but your gauge is not filled to start the game, so you gotta, gotta get up there. Waste the fucking cancel buffs with this guy, then late game, you're free. You're set home, and then, Yellow Goku Black does a blue card on there, Rose, 100-0, actually dead, endurance nullified. You actually get to read that text for once. Waste this guy's blue. Don't waste. They're good. They're effective. Uncancelable neutral. But use this guy's blue cards. Spam. I see so many people use this guy, and they'll just ult. Blue, blue, blue. Do the blues. Waste the cancel buffs. If you do that, you have such an easier time winning and actually not even going to timer, or at least you go into timer. They have 1 up. You got 3 up. You're more likely to win because you did everything you could to actually kill the motherfuckers.
But the only thing to kind of be aware with that is the blue card buff removal effect on the Yellow Goku Black equipment does only count for the first 3 blue cards.
So just
technically, you could use this guy.
Yes! This is the most effective way to use him.
Black to kind of get rid of all those buff removal charges early on because of how many blue cards this guy draws. And then that opens up for your Yellow Goku Black to start killing people with
it's like I can read the mind.
So it kind of just
it's insane.
Becomes this Goku Black,
fucking
the Goku Black
10 IQ here.
Whoever is the first person to use up the opponent's buff
will probably win,
both with ultimates and blue cards, is the person who has the significant advantage in that mirror match. But I mean, I don't know. What is the scariest thing for this character? Probably
Broly blue,
full power, final form Broly blue card. Yeah. Probably right because he's superior green, but.
He can 100-0. He can 100-0. It's strong.
Game, this guy enters the battlefield, then he's type neutral defensively for a few seconds. They're just giving every character.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
So yeah, we have
just
these
color rotation
wheel.
The
first few seconds on
so
battlefield
forced.
entry, it doesn't really even do anything because every character is type neutral. And obviously, opponent yellow, Goku Black, blue cards can definitely kill this guy if you have all the buff removal charges removed. But other than that, I mean, he's
I give this guy
still really,
I think
really
Gogeta's squishier, but I give this guy kind of a squishy threshold. You know, if Broly's like 7 on beefiness, and then, you know, Goku Black is like a 9.5. Maybe I give like this guy a 6.5, Gogeta like a 6. They're not that effective on tanking these 2 units that I just mentioned. They're not that great.
So I feel good with this guy.
Probably the
being
worst
number 4 on
asset.
the list. Let's move on to number 3. All right, moving on to number 3.
And this is where I big disagree. Again, I don't have Broly in the number 1 spot against Yellow Goku Black, and clearly it's going to be, you know, Yellow Goku Black, then Gogeta, because he has Gogeta number 1. I think, though, there's damn near nothing to me that can be debated where, and clearly I'll listen and I'll, you know, try to, you know, understand the perspective, and will understand the perspective of him. But there's nothing in my mind that I can think of right now that's like, yeah, this makes him worse than Gogeta Blue. I think the field pressure Broly creates, the over-assertion of you have to play for this character, whether you're playing like an idiot because you're not popping his transformation, so you're going to lose on timer via just being stupidity. And a lot of people are doing that because they see a high-star Broly, they see a medium-star Broly, they just see Broly and they're like, well, I'm just going to help him by giving him free blue cards. Why would I do that? But at the end of the day, you pop transformations, you catch full power Broly in a combo, you get to do a free combo, right? That's a whole combo. You wasted the other ones, now you get actually really good damage at the end of the day. A lot of people don't play for that. So I think that in itself also benefits Broly, because that's a factor of you're just winning guaranteed at that point, as well as there's no one really stopping him. Yellow Goku Black's a perfect partner. I thought Broly was a pretty arguable number 1 within prior to Yellow Goku Black, because Vegito was a good check for the guy, as well as Nappa. But now those units have not really, again, all that matters is top 4. You clearly understand this. All you fight is the top 4. You'll fight the Anomaly, 13, Janemba. I get fucking Janemba. You'll fight anomalies, obviously, but you fight the top 4. The top 4 has nothing that counters Broly. You have something to check Gogeta Blue within Rose. You have something that doesn't check Yellow Goku Black within Gogeta Blue, because realistically he does not check Yellow Goku Black. It's very obvious he doesn't. So you have this guy roaming free, you have that guy roaming free. That's why I think they're the top 2. But again, that's my take. I think he's number 2. Obviously in these higher tiers, I think the slot placements are much more important. So number 3 for him here. Let me hear this. Mr. Broly.
Multi-transformation Broly. So to me, I think the top 3 are very close. It is like, I
agree.
would not argue with anybody, no matter what the order you have for these top 3 characters. I would have Broly at 3.
I can't have Gogeta number 1. That's what I'll get on. Everything else, you know, the other 2, you'd swap them. I don't know. Actually, no. I can't have Gogeta number 1, and I can't have Goku Black not number 1. The order, I only agree with one order right now. It's Goku Black, Broly, Gogeta Blue. I can't. I thought I agree. No, I don't. I cannot see Gogeta Blue above Broly. I cannot.
I think
Goku Black
the other
has
two
to be the
characters
best.
We're going to be talking about have just a little bit more that they bring to the table. But Broly is very good. Obviously, the big thing about this character is the gauge and the way that it just allows you to stop combos and counter into a blue right away.
Yep.
Once you get to full power, the way that I have found a lot of success with his guard action ability is essentially just using it like UI Goku's dodging gauge. You use it to kind of just buy yourself time after you swap into Broly.
Or even more so, you aggress within them,
it to kind of
and they over-anticipate what you're going to
do. Some free chip damage in on the opponent when they go for an attack, at the same time buying you time to use his vanish, then swap out, then swap back in, and you have the counter ready to go again. But more than anything else, I mean, this character really is just a combination of pretty much everything besides support. Like, this guy doesn't support, which I'm probably glad he doesn't, because he didn't need to. But just raw bulk, raw damage, and dreams. That's what this guy is.
And no one's stopping him. He's not checked.
He's very tanky. He does a lot of damage, and he's healing a lot.
Also,
a lot.
Disables rushing a lot. Destroys Dragon Balls multiple times, no?
That's pretty much him. I mean, again, I think when the anniversary first started and during the first few days of the season, we definitely saw people who were very apprehensive to pop this guy's transformations.
Still are.
I think we are starting to finally see people realize that, okay, I can't really just go the entire match without forcing a Broly to transform, because I'm just going to lose, right? If I do that, I am essentially gifting the Broly character, the Broly user, an infinite amount of value on his Broly. It's almost like it's like, if you play against a Broly and you go the entire match inherently not popping the transformation, basically what that Broly is doing is he has an infinite number of Android 13 guaranteed stop combo mechanics, basically, right?
Or Buuhan gauges.
So what you can do as the Broly user is you can just start kicking him from full screen. You can start full screen striking, full screen blasting, because it doesn't matter what you do, right? They can't attack you. But yeah, essentially the safety net you have with this character, the fact that he has the counter gauge on top of having endurance, on top of having buff removal, essentially what this character is he is just a better Buuhan. That's what he is. He's just a better version of Buuhan.
I agree.
If Buuhan had endurance, that's what this guy is,
yeah.
basically.
Buuhan did not need that
people
shit.
actually asked for Buuhan to have endurance when he came out. I'm really glad he didn't. But I don't know. Like this Broly is very, very crazy. The healing, the debuffing, everything he does is very good. So I think in terms of him being just a good two-way character, offense and defense, just he does it very, very well. So I think Broly
also
makes
please
a good
build
number
Broly
3 right now.
For bulk.
We'll see what the red Broly equip looks like. I think it's possible that if they do as much justice to that one as they did for the yellow Goku Black equipment, this guy could jump up even higher on the list. But for now, I think I do feel good with him being a 3, and I could definitely see.
I wonder how he'd jump up on the list within that. I mean, I get he would go up because like Yellow Black would get deterred. I guess that's how. But does he himself actually get better within that? I feel like there's actually situational where it could be if Red Broly is so good, he does so much fucking insane burst before even transforming that he could kill this guy. He has endurance null entry. Boom, 4-card him. Probably never going to be the fucking case, but like what if that's the case? This guy could theoretically go down because of Red Broly. Every unit on this list can get fucked up by Red Broly if Red Broly is done with justice and care. And Yellow Goku Black was done with justice and care, and that guy was a fucking dud. Red Broly wasn't much better. He was like barely top 10 if he was ever top 10 on his ever fucking releases. I think I had him like maybe fucking 6 at best, and like I was, the forefront of pushing like a property of like he's great, enough to run, but nothing crazy. I hope he gets good stuff, but I don't know if that hurts this guy that much. We'll fucking see. I don't know. I definitely think it can. But number 3 there, Broly. Number 2, let me hear it. It is Mr. Goku Black.
All right, so coming in at number 2 is going to be transforming yellow
Crazy
Goku Black.
Glow up.
What a time to be alive. This is the first time this guy has been on my top 10. I'm pretty sure I didn't have this guy on a top 10 list when he first came out. I didn't think he made it.
Probably didn't deserve to. If he was on the bottom.
Number 2. And I think you definitely could argue this character as straight up number 1. I think you can. I'm not even going to dispute it. If you're somebody who wants to put this guy number 1, go ahead.
Thanks.
Go right ahead. I have no doubt about it. Like, sure. There is like a fraction of a difference between this guy and the guy at number 1. And I would argue Broly also kind of is in the discussion as well. But I mean, you guys know how hard this guy hits. You guys know how hard it is to kill this character.
He's Red MZ.
I would say that they probably did overtune his equip a little bit. The thing for me, though,
I hate that comment because, no, bro, he sucked. Make him a god. Okay, he's better than the Anniversary Part 1. Well, guess what? In Part 2, he's going to get fucking dicked down. Or by Part 3, or if the latest, the After Party, he's going to get dicked. He's going to age worse than these Anniversary units. Obviously. He ain't going to fucking, Gohan dropped. Guess what? MZ got fucking clowned and fucking pulverized. So, MZ was never seen again in top tiers. The same shit's going to happen to this guy. It's inevitability. Let him have his shining moment. Sure. Is he better than any unit? Or maybe both? Yeah, he is. He ain't going to get this shit again. Those guys are going to get equips in the future. And they're going to get glaze. Not soon, but in the future. Let the guy have his moment. He deserves it. This is literally Red MZ. Though Red MZ was much better on release, this is literally Red MZ. He's the best. Like, this guy is just him.
What puts it over the top is, why is he in the featured boost?
Yeah, he doesn't need that. I agree with that, though.
If they were going to make the equipment that good, he didn't need to be in the featured boost.
Because they have no confidence
think about what
in
he's
their
getting.
equipments.
Not only is he getting the 20% damage and 10% damage guard from being in the featured boost,
also all the
he's
bases.
also getting the stat buff because he's an LF character, not a legend character. right? They added that extra featured boost stat buff to legend units, or to LF characters, Legends Limited characters.
You need all that.
So I don't know why they needed to put him in the featured boost, because technically if they were going to do that, then I mean, what they would have had to have withheld 20% damage and 10% damage guard from his equip to make up for that. But
would that even
if
matter?
they're going to make this equip as good as they did, to where he didn't need the featured boost buffs, why put him in the featured boost anyway? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a contributing factor towards making him feel as overwhelming as he is. That's not to say he's not going to still be really good off of featured boost, but I think it's, you know, it's adding a little bit of extra juice to what he already has, which is unnecessary. But I mean, what is there to say? He's got pretty much the best tanking in the game. There's no character that tanks better than this character, considering how much he's healing. It's this guy in Broly, and like there's not even a number 3.
Yeah.
The ease at which you have to draw blues to refill his gauge. I mean, you can kind of just chuck full screen blues at your opponent if you really wanted to with this character. Reset the gauge, and then him getting the gauge back essentially just means that you're at full HP,
and you get a free
and the opponent's combo's over. And then you can just keep doing it over and over and over again. It's just
for Dragon Ball in that shit?
Almost how tough this guy is to kill. And the
this guy stops you from fucking winning off timer.
The first thing is the fact that this guy, in combination with Broly, in combination with Android 13, and I would actually add Gogeta to the list as well, who we will be talking about next, all contribute to the timer count meta that we're in right now. We definitely were in a timer count meta.
How did... Gogeta contributes to timer count meta. I find that very confusing. Wait, what? Wait. How is Gogeta contributing to time? That's the only guy that's actually fucking, like, if you're gonna get someone that's like, I'm gonna kill motherfuckers, it's this guy's blue card or Gogeta's Stardust Fall. Or at least maybe like a really good RNG setting where you have like crazy burst, crazy green card, you know, all blast cards. You just get the fucking luck of the fucking gods. Those are like the only two that are like, the game's gonna end. This shit's done. I don't think this guy, Mr. Gogeta, contributes to timer count meta. I think he actually wants the game to end.
Prior to anniversary. This might be a hot take, but I actually think we are in a worse timer count meta now than we were prior to anniversary. That doesn't mean I think this meta is worse than the meta that we had prior to anniversary. The meta we had prior to anniversary, I actually really hated that meta. with Bardock and
Feels more earned in this one. I don't know how to explain it.
I did not like that meta at all. I think on average, my matches now
like 8 minutes
are going to timer more than they did prior to anniversary, though. And I think a lot of that is thanks to this character, and a lot of that is coming from the fact that you have access to one of the best bench combinations in the game, being a Zenkai plus HPZ ability buffer with the yellow Broly. The fact that you can just spawn in with this character at 4 million health, and he's healing every time he gets hit, and he's got 100% base stats from his equipment, and he's got what, like 40% health restoration and 1,000,000,000% to everything else. Like it's just ridiculous, the sheer raw numbers this guy is just getting pumped into him. So it's just, you can't really actually kill opponents' teams the majority of the time. And a lot
of how you kill Yellow Goku Black? You use Yellow Goku Black. It ain't the counter to Yellow Goku Black is not Gogeta. It is Yellow Goku Black. 10 counts defense neutral on entry, 10 counts when you pop the gauge. This motherfucker consistently will have at least 15 counts of defense neutral when he's in the fight, 90% of the fight. That Gogeta guy ain't the counter to this fucker. People will say it. They'll be like, he's like pretty fucking effective. Like, he's the best answer to him. The only good answer to him is him. Just like with Red MZ. 13 wasn't the fucking counter to him. It was Red MZ. You run Red MZ or you're fucking cooked. Same shit here.
Thanks to the way this guy
counters himself.
Broly and
it's just because he's so good.
And the constant healing everywhere. And it becomes very tough for matches to end. And so when you have a character like Goku Black, who is able to come in and just blue card anyone in the game for like 3 million damage plus every single time, like it's hard to keep up with that in a timer count meta.
Yeah.
It's on top of the fact that he's now debuffing blues team wide, on top of the fact that he's got a second life with buff removal to begin with, even before he got buffed, on top of the fact that he has a very underrated mechanic. You guys want to know what this is? By the way, this is also a huge contributor, I think, to the timer count meta, It's this right here. What is this? Inflicts all enemies. Oops. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 20% to special move, ultimate, and awakened arts.
The terminal's out. Good asset too.
15 counts. Nobody talks about this. This is so broken. This is so insane, dude. You can stack that, right? 15 counts means you could enter the field, leave, and then come back in, and it's still up. So you're applying it twice. 40% power down. What is
Despite that,
that's why
he still hits as hard as he hits, by the way. Despite that,
it's crazy
being a thing.
And then the fact that he's an old philosophy character, which means
Cover
he's actually getting
longer.
10 counts of type
Defense
neutral,
neutral's longer.
means that Gogeta can't just come in and incinerate this guy right away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's not really much else that needs to be
But
said.
let's get to number one.
So that's for sure. All right, coming in at number...
Wholeheartedly disagree. I've said this a billion times. Let's see why he's number one, though. At least on this list.
Number one is going to be Ultra Red Gogeta Blue. I think this character is absurd. I think he's just ridiculous. Now, I already know there are going to be people talking about, oh my god, his counter is so bad. How did you have him at number one? I'm not even...
I don't even count.
Like,
it doesn't even count
I
as kit.
view this character as not even, like, really even having a counter.
I don't think that shit's in the kit, bro. That shit's fake.
And the funny thing about this is, like, I saw people saying, like, oh my god, they have to change Broly or buff Broly to where you could transform with him proactively. I actually think it's like that's a valid argument. Making him maybe transform on Green Guardian.
I think the game forcing transformation would be better than that. I get the premise behind the, make it easier. Force it. These multi-transform units, a Frieza drops. Force it. If they don't do something by this amount of counts, it happens automatically. After 40 counts, it goes from first form Frieza to final form Frieza. After 50 counts from there, it goes from final form to full power. Force it. Literally. Don't let anyone click a button. Don't let anyone do shit. Just fucking do it yourself, game. Because if they ain't gonna do it, I want to see my unit fucking do his power. Force that shit. Don't make me click a green. Don't make me do shit. Just make it fucking happen. Automatically transform these bitches. I do not care. Make that shit happen. If we're doing mostly transforming, let me see these bitches transform. Because every unit's gonna be just like Broly, where no one's gonna try to transform them, and it's just fucking dumb. No one wants to see that. That
would actually make sense.
They want to use their unit
potentially. I think if there's any of the two characters they're going to be adjusting, or they would adjust, it probably would be this guy, just to adjust his counter gauge, because
would they?
They marketed that as one of the new mechanics of this part one, and I could count on one hand how many times I've seen the counter and had the counter used against me.
Same.
So it's almost like a non-factor with this character.
It's not even there.
Yeah, sure, it's nice to
Who
have.
cares?
It's almost like you guys want to know what this is. It's almost like, for those of you who played back in the day, Purple Bojack's cover change. You basically never if you were fighting a good player who knew how to drop combo and
because it was so
knew
readable
how to play around the cover change, you really almost never saw the
I
cover
understand
change
that comparison
that often. You saw it once in a while, but the real danger of the cover change was the fact that it existed.
So you had to play a 50-50.
And it forced you to play around it.
You have to keep
That's kind of how I
it.
feel about this counter game.
But you don't have to play around this. This is worse than that by miles.
Your opponent is just
no one's ever thinking
hesitant
about
to
it.
go for blasts against this unit with his full
No
game.
one's hesitant to go for blasts against this unit.
They're not going to trigger it, but they know most of the time they can't do it. Because
now, once have I thought about his counter gauge when I thought of Gogeta Blue. Now, once in my life.
The value there. Now, here's the main reason why I'm having this character number one.
Stardust Fall.
As I've been saying throughout this entire video, we are in a very, very consistent timer count. I would say...
And this is where the whole point comes in.
70 to 80, maybe, %.
He's going to say the AoE damage. And I'll say what I say.
That is a lot. And if that's the case, do you guys think a button that deletes your entire opponent's health bars across their entire party is good?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Is that
It'd be good if it killed.
Do you think racking up a Rising Rush worth of damage from one button is good? The answer is yeah, it's the best mechanic in the game.
But unfortunately, again, that's not the case. Just to mention it last time here, because again, this is a very clearly strong selling point for Gogeta being number one. It does not hurt everybody. on the timer, again, if you did a 3 mil, it does that 3 mil on the timer. It does not do the 3 9 mil totality. So it's been disproven, and that's clearly a big selling point. Maybe if he knew that, he would change the top 2, top 1, whatever. He'd probably still have Gogeta above Broly, I would assume, but still, that's a huge marketing thing to why people are saying Gogeta's number 1. And, well, if that's not true, then you would just think Gogeta would be number 1 at that point, right? Because I don't.
The Stardust Fall is the single most broken ability in the entire game. Because if your matches are going to timer and you deal a total, because remember, it counts the damage you're doing to standby characters. If your Stardust Fall is doing 2.5 million damage to the character who's currently swapped in, that means your Stardust Fall is dealing 7.5 million damage in total, because it's dealing 100% of the damage to standby characters. So you are just racking up, again, essentially, it's a second Rising Rush. This character has a Rising Rush worth of damage from his button. That is broken. There's nothing that competes with that right now. This guy also is doing tons of damage. I actually think his disrupt is really annoying. The lock-in plus cost up is very annoying.
It can be tedious.
Actually, that's one of the reasons why I like Legend Rose so much right now, is because he doesn't care about that at all.
When you draw some specific cards, green, blue, ult.
I think overall, when you look at outside, like damage outside of the Stardust Fall, Yellow Goku Black is doing more damage than this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, oh, Yellow Goku Black
similar.
is smoking this guy in damage. I don't
The
think
blue
it's
card
that
is
much.
smoking.
I think on average he probably is doing more, but
blue, normal cards.
The Stardust Fall is just, it's stupid. It's stupid. And I think when your matches are going to timer as often as they do, I can't rank anything higher than that. It doesn't make sense to me.
I understand this at this point, right? The main selling point, Stardust Fall, the misconception that it does this, Fall it does this. That's why he's number 1 for him here. Again, he probably would say that, if I had to guess, everyone could still be number 1 of these top 3 still, but Gogeta probably has a lesser argument now because it's been founded that this does this instead of this doing what you thought it did. And again, it's an easy impression to have of, well, it's already hitting them all, so it should stack all their damage. That's pretty common sense to impression, but it's not how it works. But whether it be a bug or not, it is that. It does not work that way. So again, I don't see Gogeta number 1. Again, I would think it's Yellow Goku Black, because if the main selling point would be that asset of Gogeta Blue, and then that asset's not doing what you actually impression it to be, then the other unit that's better in other ways is just going to be better overall, because that best thing Gogeta does is actually not as good as you thought it was. An interesting list here. Again, I would just say the only thing I really care about would be the Stardust Fall and kind of, what it's doing to other units. Again, I think the pressure the other 2 units create for me of Broly and Goku Black is more substantial than Gogeta Blues, especially within the knowledge of Stardust Fall's overall infliction. As well as, again, if we're going to say Janemba's on the top 10, I'd rather have Bardock, I'd rather have probably Revhan, I'd maybe even have Purple Cell on the top 10. That's a number fucking 10 slot. I don't give 2 shits about that too much. It's just something I keep referring to because there's only so much I can, I damn near have the same exact list to this. I have maybe 1 or 2 swappable slots in the middle, and then I have the one thing at number 10, and then I have, this, Gogeta Blue, and the top 3 just interchangeable, it's nothing crazy, but no, I think this list it's solid. I mean, it's a list, right? It's my opinion, his opinion. There's no solid even on that. It's just his opinion. I'm not against it. It seems fine to me. It's just this main asset of Gogeta not being what it is would lower him, and that's where I think the biggest fall for this would be on my eyes. What do you guys think of my reaction to Gresh's top 10 list? I'll see you guys in the next one.